I lived in denial, and my life was just passing me by. And then at the age of 23, I was going down such a destructive path. I found myself sitting in a 6x8 cell every day for 24 hours a day. Can you imagine the torment, the shock and awe, the disbelief, the pain that I had to experience sitting in that cell, looking back on my life thinking that that was it? Because all I saw in that moment was wasted potential, excuses, procrastination. And I realized that I had lived a life and lived as a person that I was not proud of. The pain that I felt in that moment, the regret that I experienced, was worse than the thought of spending life in prison, because I realized that I'd done it to myself. We don't live with this perspective each and every day. When you get up in the morning, you don't think that it might be your last day. You take these opportunities for granted. We all do. That's what I realized when I sat in that cell. I realized, man, if I would have known what I was going to feel in this cell, I would have lived my life so much differently. I wouldn't have let fear hold me back or a judgment from other people. I wouldn't have cared what you guys thought of me. I wouldn't have been scared to go after my goals and pursue my best self in life. So what if I fail? I'm going to keep trying. I'm not going to sleep in. This time is precious. I got to get up and go. I got to do something with my life. Who's hungover? Who's up in the room still? I know there's a couple people missing, right? Look, and I'm not going to talk a bunch of shit about those of you that were up drinking last night, but what I will tell you is I was up in the gym at 6 a.m. working out with a couple guys. Now, how you spend your time is so important. John talked about compound interest, compounding your time, your habits yesterday, right? I recommend you check out that book by Darren Hardy, The Compounding Effect. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to live your lives today, but what I will say is, who do you think's going to get ahead faster? The guy that's up early chasing his dreams, or the guy that's sleeping in because he wanted to have a couple extra drinks the night before? Now, I know you're here to all social and have fun and let loose a little bit. That's okay. But I want you to think about the ROI with your time, your daily decisions, the habits that you're forming. Because that's the difference between the person you want to become and the person you're going to look back and regret being one day. I promise you that. And so today I want to share with you guys how I got to this stage, how I got to this moment. You know, a lot of you haven't been here, right? How many people were here last year? Raise your hands. Okay, I'm not going to share too much and elaborate too much on my story because you heard it. I don't want to be redundant. But you guys got to understand what I've gone through to get to this point. And I want to share with you the lessons, the changes, the mindset, the habits that allowed me to go from a drug-addicted loser facing life in prison to a man of purpose who's living out his dream every day. Now, how many of you in here truly want to win in life? Yeah. Come on now. Do you guys recognize how desperate our country is for real leaders right now? I'm not going to get into politics. I'm not going to go down that road. We all know the truth. And you know how you win and fight the enemy? Personal excellence, daily habits, living out your values and morals, demonstrating them through your behavior. I don't want to hear it. I want to see it from each and every one of you. This isn't about me on stage saying, look at me and what I've done. Collectively, we need to stand up and do the right thing. Right? Let's go. Let me get a round of applause for that. You guys know the truth. I brought 3 of my books. I wrote a memoir during COVID about my personal life experience. And then I also have my self-mastery guide, which is mindset course, personal development course, and 90 days of daily journaling. Okay? I'm going to share with you the importance of why personal development is paramount to your success. And then I'm going to give away a copy of each for those of you that volunteer, raise your hand and participate today, okay? Because just like Lacey, when you have the courage and conviction to speak your truth, whether it's about your goals or your setbacks, what's holding you back, something powerful shifts inside of you. No longer is that a suppressed thought or idea. Now it becomes reality. There's something tangible about it. You can almost reach out and touch it. So I want to urge you and encourage you. Take notes, listen, ask questions, participate in this hour that we have together. It'll change your life, just like it changed Lacey's. Real quick before I start too, scan that QR code. I want you guys to follow me on social media. I'm going to share something powerful with you today that I hope inspires you to change for the better. And that's my mission each and every day, is to get up and put out content on my podcast, on Facebook, on Instagram, to inspire change in people, to help you to recognize that there is more out there for you, that you are capable of more. But no one's going to give it to you. There's no handouts in this life. You need urgency. You need to live with conviction. You need to be honest with yourself about what you truly want. And then you got to get up every day and do the work and go after it, because nobody is going to create the life that you want for yourself. You got to do it. You guys, so I want to share with you where I come from and how I got here, like I said. Growing up, I was raised in Santa Barbara, California. Anybody been to California? Right? Despite some of the BS that we know is going on, it's a beautiful state. I was fortunate to grow up in a beach town, with so much opportunity. Santa Barbara, California is beautiful. One of the best places in the world to travel to. And as a kid, I had so many aspirations and dreams. I wanted to be a professional baseball player. I was so excited each and every day to live life. I was so passionate about playing sports, going to school, hanging out with my friends. And I saw a world of unlimited possibilities. How many of you as a kid remember having big goals and dreams and you felt they were attainable? Keep your hands up. I want to see. How many of you still feel that way? See, the truth is, most people have a gift that God has bestowed upon you as a child. You have clarity. You haven't been jaded by the world. You're not letting fear and doubt hold you back. You haven't failed. So you believe in yourself, and you believe in the possibilities that you see around you. But at some point, you're going to be met with some adversity. There's resistance. Maybe somebody told you weren't good enough. Maybe you lost in the championship baseball game. Maybe your first girlfriend cheated on you. Maybe you saw your parents go through struggles and get divorced. Maybe you battled with addiction, whatever it is. And suddenly, the world didn't seem so abundant. Suddenly, those dreams that God put on your heart didn't seem feasible. Suddenly, you started second-guessing your ability and your potential. And you did what most people do. You start to settle. You stop dreaming. You just kind of start kicking back a little bit and getting comfortable. And then what happens is each and every day you make decisions based on fear and doubt, that negative energy inside of you grows stronger. And like most people in the world, it corrupts your potential. That's what happened to me. Growing up as a kid with all those dreams, I suddenly met adversity. At the age of 10, it was the first time I saw my mother overdose. Happened multiple times by the age I was 12 years old. Suddenly I saw her and my dad fighting. They'd be drunk. They were battling addiction. The cops would come to our house. I started seeing all of these horrible things as a young person that really changed my perspective about the world and my life. And suddenly I started questioning myself. And instead of seeing a world of endless possibilities, I felt like I was living under this dark cloud of pain, of shame, of regret. And all I wanted to do was numb that feeling out. And the only thing I could do at that young age was have a drink, smoke some weed, take a pill. The only thing I found to numb out the pain that I was experiencing was to use drugs and alcohol. And so from 14 to 24, that's what I did. I didn't play sports in high school. I didn't go after my dreams. I didn't live as my true self. I ran from my problems. I lived in denial, and my life was just passing me by. And then at the age of 23, a miracle happened. I was going down such a destructive path. If I didn't end up going to prison, I wouldn't be here today to share this message with you. And so at the age of 23, I went to a college party to chase girls, have fun, be wild like I was at that age. And a big fight broke out between two groups of guys. And I got blamed for an assault that I did not do. And the next day I was charged with attempted murder. And I was facing life in prison. Can you imagine at 23 years old thinking that your life was over forever? I found myself sitting in a 6x8 cell every day for 24 hours a day. The cell was so small I could touch both walls at the same time. And I never left. Can you imagine the torment, the shock and awe, the disbelief, the pain that I had to experience sitting in that cell, looking back on my life thinking that that was it? Because all I saw in that moment was wasted potential, excuses, procrastination. And I realized that I had lived a life and lived as a person that I was not proud of. The pain that I felt in that moment, the regret that I experienced, was worse than the thought of spending life in prison. Because I realized that I had done it to myself. We don't live with this perspective each and every day. When you get up in the morning, you don't think that it might be your last day. When you go to sleep at night and hug your kids and kiss your wife, you don't even know if you're going to wake up, but you act as if you will, and you live like you're going to live forever. You take these opportunities for granted. We all do. That's what I realized when I sat in that cell. I realized, man, if I would have known what I was going to feel in this cell, I would have lived my life so much differently. I wouldn't have let fear hold me back or a judgment from other people. I wouldn't have cared what you guys thought of me. I would have been scared to go after my goals and pursue my best self in life. So what if I fail? I'm going to keep trying. I'm not going to sleep in. This time is precious. I got to get up and go. I got to do something with my life. Why didn't I have that urgency? Why didn't I have that passion and that conviction? We all go through life thinking that we have more time. You saw last week, Charlie Kirk, shot in the neck. He's gone. Left his 2 young children, left his wife. But you know what he didn't leave? He didn't leave a wasted life. He left a legacy. And that's what I want each and every one of you to focus on. Every day, your impact, your decisions have a ripple effect that are going to massively impact your kids, your coworkers, your employees, your customers, your wife, your community. A lot of us, we undervalue ourselves. We don't recognize the power we possess. Each and every one of you has a phone right now. You can share a message every day that changes someone's life. You could do the work on yourself to become an example. You could get excited and passionate and fired up. And instead of being one of those people on the sideline waiting for everyone else to change the world, you could become the world changer. Imagine if we all stood up every day with that mentality and that initiative and took action, what we could create. That's what we're being called to do right now. Because being tolerant, being idle, not speaking up, not taking action, not being a leader, look where it's gotten us. There's a lot taking place in life right now that reminds me of my time in prison and the transformation I went through on a personal level. It's happening collectively right now in society. It's awareness. It's a little bit of pain. It's recognizing that maybe our decisions and choices haven't led us to the best place that we want to be in life. I want you guys to think about something. If you went to the doctor for your routine checkup next month, found out that you had a tumor on your brain or a heart condition you didn't know about, and you had a month to live. Or God forbid, you have a couple too many drinks one night, you fall asleep at the wheel, you take someone out, and you find yourself sitting in a jail cell like I did the next morning with a life sentence hanging over your head. I want you to really put yourself in that place right now. If your life was over right now, what are the things that you didn't do that you know you've been called to do? What are the moments that you let pass you by, carelessly overlooking how precious they are? Who are the people in your lives right now that you're not spending enough time with? Holding their hands, telling them you love them, being present when they're talking to you. I don't care if it's your business, your family, your personal goals. I know each and every one of you right now has more to give to this life that you've been blessed. I know right now each and every one of you has more potential that is untapped. And you know what the greatest motivator in life is? And this is why I've been blessed with so much adversity. It's pain. Pain is the greatest motivator in life. If you experience enough pain, you will change instantly. If you went to the doctor next week and he said, hey man, you're diabetic. You're at risk for heart failure. You're going to die in a couple years if you don't change your ways. You would all get healthier. You would all eat better food. You'd educate yourself on nutrition. You'd actually read books and look into it. You'd go to the gym. You'd work out. You wouldn't hit snooze on your alarm. You'd get a personal trainer. You'd hire a coach. You'd get accountability partners. You would lose the weight. You would get in better shape. Same goes with substance or alcohol. Some of you are drinking too much. If you found out you had fatty liver, cirrhosis, whatever it may be, and you found out your life was in jeopardy, and the doctor said, hey man, if you don't quit drinking, you're going to die. And you got kids and a family you're going to leave behind, you would change like that. Why can't we all live with that type of urgency and perspective now? Why does it take us nearly losing our lives or having to jeopardize everything to make the changes we know we need to make? Because here's the truth. Each and every one of you right now know who you want to be. You know what goals you have. You know what changes you need to make. But a lot of you aren't making them. And I want you to recognize that your time is running out. And you don't know when that time's going to come for each and every one of you. The biggest takeaway I want you guys to have today is that you need to live with more urgency. You need to go after your dreams like your life depends on it. You need to get up every day with focus, with a plan, with purpose. You need to fight through that resistance. Face your fears. Prove yourself right by taking positive action. Don't side with the doubt. Don't sleep in. Don't kick back. You prove your fears right when you do that. You strengthen them. I had to experience this and learn this and feel this the hard way, you guys. Sitting in that cell every day was torture. And I knew that I had to do something to take control of my life. I couldn't just sit there idly in the cell and wake up every day and think about how I was going to spend the rest of my life in prison and how I might never get to go home and hug a loved one, see another sunset, walk on the beach, be a free man. Those thoughts were torturing me. And so the first thing I recognized I had to change is my mindset. Why are you yawning, man? You checked out? Come on, let's go. Focus. Focus. Be with me right here, okay? Your mindset is everything. The way you look at situations, the way you talk to yourself is going to dictate how you live your life. Every day I was getting up in that cell and I kept thinking, why is this happening to me? Why does no one believe me? Why is no one trying to help me? You know, my lawyers, they didn't even believe I was innocent. The first day in court, they wanted to amend my charges to homicide because the victim was in a coma for 2 weeks. They told me he was brain dead. They said, John, you're never getting out of here. You're going to do life in prison. So waking up in that cell every day, I recognized that my mindset, my self-talk, was making my situation worse. And when you find people in those predicaments in life, there's usually only one way out. That's death. Very few people can endure that type of anguish and pain day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year. And so I couldn't get out of that cell. I couldn't leave. So the only thing I could do was shift my perspective around my situation. And I remember one day it hit me. One day I'm sitting there in my cell reflecting. I'm soul searching. I'm praying to God for guidance and strength and answers. Please help me. I can't do this alone. Please help me. I can't do this alone. I'm not strong enough. I need your strength, your help. You know, I'd never prayed out like that in my life before. And it's interesting when we feel like we have nothing left to do, no recourse, no alternative, what do? We pray. My prayers were answered. I remember shortly after that, sitting in my cell going, Sean, gosh, what if you needed this experience? Like, what if you needed to come to jail to get sober? And being incarcerated is actually going to save your life. You know, you guys, I'd seen so many people die growing up. My uncle died in my garage when I was 19 from an overdose. That same year, I had to rush in and save my dad and give him mouth-to-mouth because he was dead on the floor until the paramedics came. Like I said, I saw my mom overdose 3 times. She lived. But I had friends, cousins, family members. They all perished to their demons. And I was next. I know it. I would not be here today had I not gone to jail. So I started asking myself or telling myself, maybe, you know, coming to jail is going to save my life and get me sober. Or maybe it's going to allow me to get away from all those toxic relationships and people that I was living with and amongst and find out who I am as a person. You know, and the big one was believing that this could potentially be a blessing in disguise. And although I couldn't see it in the moment, God had a plan for me and my life. And sometimes in the most extreme moments of adversity, the only recourse you have is prayer and the ability to shift your perspective to see the positive potential. And that's what I started doing. I started projecting into the future, but not in a negative way like most people do. I started seeing the positive potential in my circumstances. And it gave me a little bit of hope that each and every day I could cling to get me through the next. And so that led to me doing things every day to better myself, because I remember waking up going, okay, I can't just sit in this cell and let this time pass me by. You know, a lot of people go, life is not happening to you, it's happening for you. Have you ever heard that? But if you just said that to yourself every day and just laid in your bed all day, would you actually believe it? I had to live it out. You have to live out the words that you speak, the person you say you are, the values that you possess. I want to see you demonstrate them every day in your actions. Otherwise, you don't even believe they're true. And most people, they damage the rapport they have with themselves, their relationship, because they constantly break promises. And if you don't have confidence and belief in yourself, you're not going to do anything in life. But a man with true conviction, true confidence, true belief in himself, he can conquer the world. And so I recognized every day that I had to focus on what I could do to turn those thoughts into reality, to prove to myself that it was a blessing in disguise. So the first thing I did was commit to a life of sobriety. That was 13 years ago. I've been sober ever since. And the second thing was a shift internally. I made a commitment to myself that I was going to walk the straight and narrow. I was going to walk this path of excellence for the rest of my life. I wasn't going to be one foot in, one foot out like most people. I was going to commit to excellence every day in everything I did. I had to do it to the best of my ability. I had to be my truest self. I had to be authentic. And these are thoughts in a jail cell facing life in prison. What can I actually do? But before you make the change, before you develop the habit, you have to have a shift in your own perception of yourself, your identity. You have to make a deep internal commitment to who you're going to be for this life. Most people waver. They spend their whole lives negotiating with themselves. Oh, tomorrow I'll do it. Oh, next week. Oh, just tonight I'll have the drinks. Oh, if you live that way, you're never going to become who you want to be. You got to compound these days, these decisions, these actions. The compounding effect is real. So during that time, I recognized that there was about a handful of things I could do to better myself. And that's all I wanted to do. Every day I wanted to do things that made me feel like I was bettering myself. Whatever I could do in that cell. So I'd get up and I would read, write, and work out. Every day, read, write, and work out. Every day, read, write, and work out. Over and over and over. And my mindset in that moment was, I get to work out. I get to read. I get to write these letters home. I started creating this gratitude perspective for the things I didn't have. I wasn't dwelling or focused on what I didn't have or what was working against me or who didn't believe me or all that negativity. I want you guys to do a little bit of an assessment right now. And I want you to ask yourself, how many of my thoughts each and every day are focused on negative outcomes, negative occurrences in my life? What I don't have, who was a jerk to me today? All that stuff, right? Whatever you focus on, that's where your energy goes. That's going to affect how you live your life. I recognized in the moment that I had to focus on positivity and what I was doing, not what I couldn't do. So when I'd be working out, I'd be telling myself, man, I'm so blessed right now. I get to work out. I got arms and legs that function. I could push through these push-ups. I could do 1,000 push-ups today if I really try. I get to work out. I get to. And then when I'd pick up a book, sometimes the pages would be ripped out. Sometimes the last 2 chapters would be missing. But I didn't focus on that. I'd tell myself, man, I have eyes that work. I could see right now. I could understand what's going on in this book. I get to read. I get to. And then when I'd be writing letters back home, the same thing. Man, I have family members who are supporting me. They believe in me. They're here for me. I get to write these letters back home. I get to. And so you guys, this is like a superpower. You're going through your day and you're getting all angry and disgruntled. Oh, I got to drive across town to bid this job. Oh, they didn't put the gutters on right. I got to go back and repair them. Oh, man, my kids are late. I got to go wait for them. I got to sit in traffic, blah, 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 blah. When you talk to yourself that way about your life, what are you doing? Would you rather give everything up you have right now and just be dead? No. Right? So when you start recognizing the good in your life, man, I get to spend time with my kids. I get to earn money. I get to provide. I get to grow. I get to face adversity. That's how I become better. I get to. If you can shift your self-talk and remind yourself, I get to, instantly your frequency, your emotional state will elevate. You'll start to see the good in your life everywhere you go, in everything that you do. And here's another one, right? No matter what you're facing in life, it's an opportunity. No matter what goals you're going after, you're either going to get what you want, you're going to win, and if you come up short, guess what? You get to learn. That's the only L we take here. We learn. Every day we grow, we learn, we get better. But you're not going to show up every day with this mentality if you're talking negatively to yourself and looking at your life saying, I have to. So you guys, this shift that I made in my mindset and my daily habits propelled me all through prison. I was sentenced to 7 years in prison. They didn't let me out. The truth never came out. They convicted me for assault with a deadly weapon and sent me to prison for 7 years. And I remember telling myself before I went upstate, Sean, if you can overcome this time of incarceration, you stay focused, you stay true to yourself, you make every day count, there's nothing you can't do in your life. That was my mindset, and I made every day count. When I got to prison, I worked out more. When I got to prison, I read more books. When I got to prison, I found out they had a college correspondence program. I signed up. I got 4 associate's degrees during that 5.5 years. I studied psychology, business, social and behavioral sciences. I became obsessed with personal development and growth because I wanted to come home and show the world what I was made of. That experience taught me so much about our time. And if we prioritize it correctly, and if we can keep our spirits alive, and that inspiration high, and we have something we're striving for, a goal, a purpose, a meaning, nothing's going to stop us. But I want you guys to question yourselves and go, am I making the most of my days? Are my days mapped out? Am I maximizing this gift I've been given? Is my vision so big it pulls me out of bed at night? If you don't feel that way, it's because you're doing it wrong. That's not the way you're supposed to live. You're not supposed to be numb and idle and comfortable and checked out. That's not the way we're supposed to live. That was me for the first half of my life. This is me now. I changed. You can change too. I promise you that. So you guys, I got out in 2017, 2018, okay? And I had dreams. I had goals. I knew what I wanted to do. In a very short period of time, I went into personal training in a gym, left that gym, started my own business, got clients, started building a family, started having babies. Then COVID shut the gyms down. They took away my clients. They took away my revenue overnight. When I got with my wife, I told her, baby, I got you. I'm going to take care of you. We're going in the hospital. I have my daughter, Scarlett. I said, hey, when you get out of here, you're not going back to work. She was the GM at 3 restaurants. I said, you're never going to work again. I'm going to take care of you. If you want to, you can. If you want to start a business, you can. But I will provide. I will take care of you. And then COVID shut all the gyms down. And I lost all my clients and revenue overnight. I remember one morning I was sitting in my wife's glider. It's like a rocking chair when she has a baby. Stressed out. 4 a.m, looking at my bank account. $1,500. What am I going to do? Rent's due. We got bills. I told my wife I was going to be the provider for her. I told her I was going to take care of her. And I was so close to going to look for a 9-to-5. I was so close to seeking security and safety. But I remember in that moment thinking about all the stuff I had overcome, all the stuff I had gone through. Broken home, addicted parents, 10 years battling my own addiction, life in prison, 5.5 years in prison. I'd come too far to stop then. I remember in that moment just realizing, man, I have more to give to this world. I could share about how I overcame my demons. I could talk about my time in prison. I could help people with their depression, their mindset, their habits. You know, everyone was locked down during COVID. They were freaking out. That shit was easy for me. I had just done it. It was easy. I was just doing burpees in the backyard. It was easy. And I recognized, man, I got to go all in on my dream. The only way you find fulfillment in life, the only way you experience that feeling that we're all chasing, it's not money, it's not status, it's not your Instagram followers. It's alignment with the truth that God put on your heart. When you go all in on your dreams and you live every day going after those dreams, doing everything you can do, you start to feel something powerful within you. That's what I felt in prison. I remember in prison waking up with so much gratitude, feeling so much purpose. I remember questioning myself, how can I feel this way in here? Like, this shouldn't even be allowed. This is too good. And I remember my sole purpose in prison became, keep this energy alive inside of you, Sean, and get home and share it with the world. And so just like God sent me to prison and intervene in my life, COVID was the opportunity to pivot and really become the person I'm supposed to be. And that's when I picked up my phone and I started doing Facebook Lives and I started sharing my story. And I remember within the first couple months, started getting clients, started building my online program, and I never looked back. So now, today, to this day, I'm the founder of Unstoppable 365. We're becoming the #1 health and performance company for blue-collar business owners nationwide. There's nobody that's comparing to what we're doing for blue-collar guys and women, right? That niche emerged by staying in alignment. You see, over time, when you do the right thing and you show up, you compound those daily actions, bigger visions emerge, new opportunities, relationships. You don't have to have it all mapped out. You just have to have the courage to start the process. And you never stop. And so that's what I did. And during that time, me and my wife, we were having kids. We have 4 kids now to this day. So about 3 years after getting out of prison, I look around at my life and I go, I'm the owner of a coaching company. I get to do what I love every day and help people. I wrote a book that became a bestseller, Prison of Your Own. I get to speak on stages and share my story with people in the hopes that I could change their life. And I'm looking around going, this is what I prayed for in prison. These are the moments I envisioned. All I wanted to do was come out and be a father and raise my kids the right way and have a family with my beautiful wife. I wanted to get on stages and share my message with people like you so that I could infuse some hope, some inspiration, some urgency, so that I could take all that pain, all the lessons I learned, all the time, and I could turn it into positive outcomes. That's alchemy. You could take bad and turn it into good. You could take negative and convert it into positive. You're the catalyst. Your thoughts, your actions, the changes you make, your commitments, your sacrifices. And so you guys, today, that's what I'm doing. I'm here to make an impact on this world. And I know that God is calling me for more. And sometimes I go, man, am I doing enough? Is there more that I could be doing? And I know if I stay on this straight and narrow and show up each and every day, I'll continue to have the opportunities to make the impact that God's put on my heart. Okay, so look at, last year Lacey spoke. She stood up and said, hey, this is the woman I want to be. Dude, I'm so proud of you. She backed it up with action. Let's give her a round of applause. So I'm going to give somebody in the audience a chance to speak their truth. Look at, we all have these suppressed emotions, these dreams, these hang-ups. If you let them stay suppressed, they're going to eat away at you for the rest of your life. The moment you articulate your truth and call your shot, that's the moment you get a chance to prove it to the world and pursue those visions. That's when they become real. You got something you want to say, brother? Let's hear
it. 6 years ago, I stood in line to get on the prison bus to head off for my state sentence. I did 2 years, but I was a strung-out heroin addict, thought my life was completely ruined. And then I just kept trying and doing everything the right way, the way it should be done. And then he gave me the great opportunity to come run his business. And that's what I practice every day. Do the right thing, putting the right foot forward.
I love that, man. So let's give him a round of applause. So what is a change you want to make to your mindset, your habits?
My habit, my health.
Your health. What specifically? Tell me. I gotta be able to see it.
On my health, I had diverticulitis, put me in the hospital. So now that I'm out, I'm on a full protein diet.
Okay.
I've already dropped 27 pounds.
Good for you.
Yesterday morning was actually the first time I truly just went for a walk without being on the job site, thanks to Tim. But my goal is to get back down to a little bit slimmer. Maybe.
What weight do you want to be? Call your shot means you call your shot.
I'd like.
If you don't have detail in your goals, though, your brain can't recognize what you
I'd
want.
like to be at like 185, 175.
Okay,
Yep.
There we go.
Next year,
Let's go.
185, 175.
Who was it? Somebody in here. Somebody in here came up to me the other day, yesterday, and they said, hey, man, I heard you speak last year, and I lost 80 pounds since. Who was that? Are you in the room?
Where's Chris?
Chris was in here earlier. So look at you guys. You all have the ability to take control of your lives, but you need detail, you need a plan. And for you, having a personal trainer, having a coach, having a plan that you can follow each and every day that guarantees the results, it's gonna expedite that growth for you. So, I mean, we'll talk after, man. Come chat with me. But I love the fact that you're sober. I love you changing your life. I'm proud of you. Let's go, baby.
All right. We got another one for you. Who we got? Come on, bring it up.
How's everybody doing? My name is Carly. How y'all doing? So, a shot I want to call is I run a personal training business online, and I want to hire 5 new clients every single month for the rest of the year.
Let's go. I love that.
Thank you.
Hold on. He might ask you something. He's going to challenge you right now.
So, are you doing online coaching, or what are you doing?
I'm doing online.
And you're doing gutters?
Yep.
Okay. Which one are you going to do?
Both.
Both?
The Gutters isn't my company. The
It's
personal
not your
training
company?
is my
Okay,
company.
okay. Yeah, so what I found is when you have one foot in, one foot out in anything, you're not giving your all. You know what I mean? The only way we get exceptional results in life is when we give our all we have to. I've always put my back up against the wall. I've called my shot, and I put myself in a position where I cannot fail. Like during COVID, I could have went online for that whole year, right? But I was just kind of making a little money doing in-person training. I was comfortable. I didn't realize it. I was in a comfort zone. What I recognize is that if you're not willing to burn the ships and put yourself in a position of you're either going to sink or you're going to succeed, we don't give enough effort to get to where we want to go. It's human tendency. So it's something to reflect on, right? I know right now you got to make money, but look, imagine if you didn't have a paycheck coming in. You think you'd be a little hungrier to get those clients?
Hell yeah.
You think you would be posting more content, right? Yeah. You think you'd be sending out more DMs?
Oh, yeah. For sure.
That's what I'm seeing. So that's what I'm saying. So the paycheck is a crutch. The paycheck holds you back. And I'm not here to dissuade him from doing gutters, right? That's what you guys are here to learn. But this is also about purpose. And everyone has a different purpose God put on their heart. You're here to help people. That's what you want to do. Go after it like your life depends on it. All right? We can chat more. I'll be here all day.
Hold on
I'll be here all day.
Chris, come here.
Also, too, just so you know, whoever gets up and speaks, I'm going to give you one of my books and then the journal that we have, right? So, Tim, you're next. I only brought 6 copies, but come talk to me after this, too. I'll be here all day, you guys. Whatever.
I'm going to let you jump back to Chris real quick.
Let's do it. There we go.
He's going to talk to you real quick.
Oh, yeah. Come up here.
Come on.
So last year I spoke, right? And kind of just like I did today, passionate, kind of have an idea of what I'm going to say, but I just feel the room out and I just go with what God put on my heart. I share that message. He said he heard my message last year. He came up to me, yesterday? Yeah. And he goes, Sean, I just want you to know, I heard what you said last year, and I took it to heart, and I lost 80 pounds. So I just want to give him a round of applause, man.
Specifically what I said was, that guy's an asshole, but fuck him. I'm losing weight.
There we go, right?
Which, to be fair, that is what I said. So.
Yeah. I talked a lot of shit last year on purpose. I got to get you guys fired up. Thanks. Sometimes those soft, fluffy, nice, positive words, they feel good, but do they actually create change? But if I tell you, all you men, you guys are a bunch of pussies and nobody was in the gym and you guys were hungover and drunk and that's the man you want to be for your family, I'm fucking serious. Think about that. To be fair, you were right. But that's the truth because look, I have the highest standards for myself because I want to be the best. Yeah. I want to be the best. Okay? When I was younger, I had that feeling, but I didn't live it out, so I couldn't show the world my potential. My family members, my friends, no one knew my potential because I never showed them. Once I got pissed off and prison fired me up and I got that chip on my shoulder to this day for all those wasted years, that's what drives me every day. I'm still proving myself right. I still got to get up and do the work. When I look at my children, I look at my wife, I look at you guys, I know why I'm doing it. And that's something I want you all to think about. Why does it matter if you get up tomorrow morning and do the work or sleep in? Why does it matter if you're fat and lazy or if you're a superhero for your kids? Why does it matter if you're sober or you're a drunk? Why does it matter if you make the money, grow the business, or you don't? You got to have something deeper inside you that drives you every day so you can run through a wall so nothing will stop you. Those excuses, those doubts, they don't even matter. You got to do it. You got to find out.
You got to do it, yeah. We want to do one more? You want it? You want it? Let's go. Come on. Let's go. This is the one right here, baby. What's your shot?
Come up here. I want you to stand.
Yeah. Do it, baby.
Come here. Come on. Let's give her a round of applause.
Hi, Sean.
So tell them your name, and I want you to tell them exactly who you're becoming and what you're going to do in your life.
Okay, my name is Jessica. I want to stop to be a woman in depression. I want to,
Can I help you real quick?
Yeah.
I want to know who you want to become.
Okay.
We're not going to focus on what you can't do and what's holding you back. Let's look towards who you want to become.
Okay, I want to be strong. That's all.
What else? You want to be strong. What skill sets? What do you want to be able to do? We talked about it last night. And it's okay, look at real quick. These are all just human beings. Everybody in this room is going to die one day. We're all going to die one day. We all have struggles. We all have stress. We all feel the same way. We're all going to die one day. We're all going to die, you guys. Let's make the most of this time that we have. So we talked last night, right? You want to. So can I share a little bit?
Yes.
She came from Mexico. English is her second language. She's here pursuing her dreams. How beautiful is that? Right? And we talked last night, and you said you feel a little self-conscious because you can't speak English the same way as you can Spanish, and you want to be able to communicate a message the right way.
Right.
Right? And so with that, just like I told you guys, when I went to prison and I knew that if I could overcome that 5 years, I could do anything in my life, it's the same for you. You continue to improve your English. You don't get self-conscious as much. You just say, hey, this is where I'm at. I'm going to keep getting better every day. If I can learn English and communicate my message, I can do anything. You got to psych yourself up. You got to shift the perspective, change the narrative in your mindset. Does that make sense? Like, if you sit there and go, oh, I'm depressed and I can't talk good English, of course you're going to be depressed.
Yeah.
But if you say, dang, I came from Mexico, now I'm in the U.S., now I'm building my business with is it your husband?
Yes.
What a beautiful thing. That's the American dream. Right? Real quick, my Uber driver on the way over here was from Ethiopia. And I started asking him about what it was like to grow up in Ethiopia, why he came to America, what he thinks about the politics here. You know, I was asking him all these questions. And then I go, why do Ethiopians and Kenyans, like, why are they so good at running, man? Like, you guys are killing it in all the marathons, setting world records. And he told me because growing up in the villages over there, if you want to get an education as a kid, you have to run 2 hours to school, get your education, then run 2 hours home. Every single day. Can you imagine the gratitude that he has to be in this country with these opportunities? Gosh, that puts things in perspective, right? So I could only imagine the stuff that you saw in Mexico, the way you grew up. Some places in Mexico are harder than the United States, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that makes you a little hungrier, motivated?
Yeah, I feel that, well, when I came here, I came for other purpose, just to study, right?
Okay.
So just to be better in my English and just to get a job there, but not here.
And but you're doing it here now, right?
Yeah, I'm here.
And so sometimes God changes the plan. What I'll tell you, too, is anything in life that's meaningful, it requires hard work and consistency over time. You know, and that's what shapes you into a better woman. You got to fight for it. You got to believe in yourself. You got to be willing every day to get up and do the work. That's how you kill the depression.
Yes.
Make yourself proud. Every day, do as many things as you can to build yourself up. You won't have negative self-talk. Your negative self-talk somewhat is truthful. Hey, man, it's calling you out. You didn't do what you said you were going to do. But every day, if you stack wins and you do things that make you feel proud of who you are, what's the alternative? You're not going to be depressed. You're going to have pride, joy, happiness.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You could do it. Let's give her a round of applause.
Okay, good job.
Young Tim in the
Young
yellow.
Ting.
Tim Jr.
Yeah, I was going to say, young Tim is like, I was just about to order some food.
Let's hear it, brother. Tell the whole audience who you are and what you're going to do with your life.
My name's Tim Crouch. My dream is pretty similar to his lifestyle. I want to be an online coach and everything. Fitness is my passion. Similar to him, I'd like to at least start with like some 5-10 clients a month consistently. That's my goal, ultimately. I want to replace all my incomes with that because I kind of do side hustles, sell furniture, and do pressure washing. It's just not really my passion. My passion's fitness, but that brings in the money.
Yeah, I love that. And look at real quick, because you're all blue-collar guys out here. Some of you want to lose weight and get in shape. Do you think he looks the part? Yeah. I'd trust him, right, to get me in the gym, working out, eating right. That's what I told him. I said, you're already an example of what a lot of other men want to look like. Now you got to put out content and get in front of those people. And you got to connect with people, too. Like, I do fitness coaching, but you won't hear me talk about macros and food. I talk about the emotion inside of you. I talk about the man that you want to be, the leader that you want to become. See, I have an intimate connection with my audience. I know what's missing out there in the world. So Tim's 19, you guys, and he's already thinking about this stuff. And young people stress themselves out so much. We were talking and a couple other youngsters, and like they're stressing themselves out about where they're at in life. I'm like, dude, when I was 19, I was just doing cocaine and chasing women. Right? Let's be honest. Like, I was a knucklehead. Jesse, where are you at? Jesse's 24, and he was like stressed out. I'm like, when I was 24, I was facing life in prison. When you get serious about who you want to be, you call your shot, you show up every day, that's when the magic happens. Watch this guy next year when he's back here. Watch Tim, right? Let's go. One more.
I just want to say my name is Eric, and just as you know, a small business owner, I do pressure washing, floor coating. My main goal, I feel like I want to call myself on, is helping more people with their addiction. I work for a gutter company, and the people that I work with, you know, they're on drugs, and there's one person that I try my best to help, and I always get the wall. Yeah. But it's not going to stop me. But I feel like God's really kind of like put this on my heart to help these individuals. I go to a lot of hip-hop artist concerts, and I just try my best to help other people. Because my mom struggled with addiction, and she's not here anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the hardest things is when you want to help people that don't want to change. You got to be the example. You got to continue to show up for them. Put content out online. You know, bring them to events like this. Do whatever you can, but here's the sad truth. My dad died 4 years ago from an overdose, from fentanyl. He never changed. He never changed, man. He wanted to, but he couldn't. Those demons inside of him and the stuff he experienced as a young person, it was too much. My mom, she died when I was in prison of a sudden aneurysm due to her drug use. The truth is, some people are going to die and you can't save everyone. But guess what? There's somebody in this room, there's somebody online, there's somebody that you're going to speak to that will change. And that's why we keep showing up. Because the ones that do want to change, they will. The ones that are ready, when they hear your message, they're going to run with it. And so that's what I would tell you, man, do your part. Go all in. But just know you can't save everyone. And that's hard for me to admit. Because I never think that or want to believe that, you know. But I saw it firsthand. So people will change. You're going to lose some in the process. But be that shining light of hope for them every day, man.
Thank you.
Good job. Real success isn't the money in your bank account, the quality of your business. If you're a fat, lazy father, if you're a drunk, if you're not living out your potential, you're not going to ever be successful. And that's the truth. I want you guys to be exceptional human beings. That's how you win in everything that you do. Go to the next slide. That's my mugshot. That's the day I was arrested on the left. Strung out on drugs, scared out of my mind. Had no idea what was in store for me. The other picture on the right is cut off, but I look a little better there, right? The point is, it's you versus you every day. The greatest fight that you will ever come across in life is the one against yourself. I truly believe there's two versions of us coexisting at all times, fighting for your attention, okay? It's that person that you want to be, those goals, those dreams, those changes, the person that God has put you on this earth to become. But you're also met with that other person, right? The fear, the doubt, the comfort. I'll do it later. Oh, tomorrow, next week. I'll change sometime in the future. That person's always trying to get you to hold back. That version of you is never calling you for greatness. It's calling you for comfort. It's calling you for mediocrity. No one's going to live your life for you. No one can make the changes you need to make. You need to be honest with yourself. You need to recognize that you're here for a reason, that there's so many people that depend on you. There's so many opportunities out there, and the future is abundant and limitless if you're willing to pursue those dreams. But if you can't get up every day and have clarity around who you want to be and make decisions that move you towards that person, you're never going to get there. I know the truth that each and every one of you has so much potential. You are stronger than you realize, okay? You're more resilient than you know. And your capabilities are endless. My hope for each and every one of you is that you leave this room today and you decide to go chase them. I love you guys. Let's go out and change the world.